All right. And we're live. Just Your Average Citizen, episode number, what is this? 14. Holy shit. Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining in today. Listen. I feel like China's gonna fuck us up. Oh, come on. You can't be racist like that against the Chinese government. No, sir. But I want to be, because I'm a racist white man. But it's just fucking buck-ass wild, because you got Nicki Minaj saying on Twitter that she's nervous about getting the vaccine. This is just today, September 15th or September 14th. I don't know. But it was one of these 2 days of 2021, year of the fuckery. And she was talking that she's nervous about getting the vaccine because she's got a friend, cousin, somebody or some or other, third removed, that got the vaccine, and his testicles swelled up, and he was about to get married, and they said he was impotent. He lost his ability to produce sperm and fuck his wife to where she can get pregnant. So they was about to get married, and then she called it off because the motherfucker has swollen testes that are fucking big that can't come. And so she's like, yeah, I'm just not going to marry you because you can't give me babies. And I'm not about adoption because, like, I kind of want to get pregnant. And so she called off the wedding. Kind of sucks for that guy. Fuck. But, like, that's a fear. And, like, I don't claim to be, like, super intelligent with certain things, but I am allowed to think, and we all got thoughts, and most of us think this whole pandemic, I won't use the words plandemic because then that just, like, kind of feels like I discredit myself because, like, it's talking about drama. And just to be serious on the fact is this whole pandemic is kind of fucking weird. China, in my opinion, released the virus in their own territory in the Wuhan area, miles, a mere small few, like I think it was 15 miles away from the Wuhan level 4 laboratory that specifically studies corona bat viruses. And then people were sick in September at the Wuhan lab, and then come October, bam! They's all getting sick. Everyone's sick. And then there was no military, like people going in. And my thing is, if there's a country that has some crazy exposure or crazy lab leak, then the fucking governments would step in and they would shut that shit down. They would stop it. It'd be like The Stand. Like, this is kind of turning out to be like The Stand. But, like, now let's think real far outside the box. This ain't a conspiracy theory. This is some real true facts that the United Nations has done their predictions on. This is coming from the United Nations. Something towards the end of World War II that the U.S. government was not going to get involved in. And then after, I think it was Roosevelt, he was in a wheelchair, right? He led us through World War II. And then after he got out of office from being our president, we're in the United Nations. So here's what they're saying. They're saying the world is going to run out of water by 2040. So that's in 19 and a half years, almost 18 years, because we're in September now, middle of September, and then you got October, and then 2 months later, you got 2022, right? So we'll just round up. I know you Americans are like, round up. What the fuck does that mean? We just say the number. We don't use decimals here. Yeah. We don't use the motherfucking metric system up in this bitch. So you round up. We'll say 18 years. The world is not going to have enough water, and people are going to start dying of thirst. I was hallucinogening I was high as fuck on some mushrooms. We'll just say that. I'm going to be real blunt. I was fucking high. So high. My baby mama, like, I was so high before we even got high, we dropped our kiddo off with her mom. And then while we was getting high, I just kept looking for my son. I'm like, where's Zayden? Where's my son? Where is he? We lost him. And like, but the whole trip was really good because like when you're high with somebody and they're just killing your high, you already know they're not good for you. That's a really good test because they're just killing your shit. You know what I'm saying? And you're just like, God damn, because you're one with yourself. So you can really feel that energy. Psychedelics are fucking powerful. And I knew then, and the whole reason I did it then was to really see if she loved me. And we did it, and that bitch did not love me at all. She hated me. Even after the high, she's just like fucking, like our energy was like a north and south fucking pole on two magnets. It just, no matter what you did, it just couldn't do it. But I was so like stupid. Ladies, you know those dumbass guys, and guys, you know when you're a dumbass and like you just want to force it because you have this fantasy. And like that's the worst thing. And that's why the consequences of my actions of trying to force a relationship that I had a child with, that's why I lost so much shit. It's because I was a stupid ass guy. Like, everyone goes through that. But unfortunately for me, I didn't have much dating experience when I was a teenager, you know what I'm saying? So like hey, we learn, we live, and we die. And hopefully we produce offspring before we die so we can come back and live again sometime in the future. Like Genghis Khan, that crazy psycho motherfucker that destroyed like, what did he kill? Like 20% of the world population? God damn. Genghis Khan was a fucking G. Holy shit. I would have hated to be alive back then. Woo. You gotta hurt people. Oh, I don't like hurting people. I can, motherfucker. But I choose not to. I like giving love and advice and just like sharing shit. You know what I'm saying? Help people succeed. That's what you want to do. That's how you put your best foot forward, motherfucker. That's why in the description when you read, does your current situation depict where you will be tomorrow? It fucking does, in my opinion, because my current situation, so we'll take it like this, right? So my employee, his baby girl, fell off the motherfucking something that she was climbing on and busted her fucking lip open. And then the mama bear, she's like, baby, you need to get your ass over. Because one of them little bastards threw away his fucking car keys. So he's only got one set of car keys for one car out of the two vehicles. So she's like, baby, you need to get your ass out here because our baby girl just busted her face open. It won't stop bleeding. But she's also one of them women where she's like, hey, I'm going to call the store and I'm going to blow up your fucking cell phone and I'm going to text you like a motherfucker until you pick up. You know what? Like, fuck that shit. But that's their situation. It's not mine. I'll coach you guys through here in just a moment if you want to get past that shit and settle it real fucking quick. Because that's fucking annoying. You know it's annoying and that's why you fucking do it, huh? Yeah, you little bastard. So, like, being needy, there's nothing wrong about being needy, okay? It's just showing that you're needy to somebody who doesn't truly love you is a way to freak them out and scare them off, okay? That's all. Because those of us that know how to pick up on those red flags is like, you're not in love with yourself. You're not one with yourself. I done been through that, been through this, and I learned my lesson, and I don't want to go there. It's like, that's a nice bush. Oh, look at that. It's got nice apples. And you go to it, and then roar, a big fucking tiger jumps out and mauls your ass. Luckily, you're able to get away with fucking 2 arms and missing 3 toes. But next time you go to that river and you're like, don't go to that bush. That bush has tigers in it. You don't want to go there. And you're never going to go to that bush again because you almost fucking died. That's just how it works. Like, we have these things, these images. You actually remember more when cortisol and stress is running through your veins than you do being happy. And the reason is you're not about to die when you're happy. You're about to die when you have cortisol and stress going through your body. as of like 500 years ago, we didn't have the shit that we have now. A great society. And people in Africa, if you're like, well, people in Africa have fucking tigers and lions and elephants. Oh my. Well, they're kind of in like their own designated zones. Everything else is, I mean, you don't really get that shit out in the fucking wild. I think people in the Northwest and the North, people where bears live are more at risk getting killed by a bear than people in Africa being killed by a cheetah or a lion. Like that's what I heard. So I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be right. Who the fuck knows? But like that's my point. Is there's danger everywhere, but nowhere near like it was 500 motherfucking years ago. Bam. So is what I was saying was when. Ooh. What was I saying? Damn it, I don't have anyone to bring me back on this one. Woo! We got to watch them rants because they will take you out. I'm happy I ain't like this with customers in the store. I'll be talking like a stoner dude, you know, like, yeah, bruh. Yeah. What were you talking about again? Oh, yeah, you wanted this roll of papers? No, bro. I said I just wanted a torch and this banger. What the fuck? So we got water just going away. And they said by 2025, there's going to be a total of 30 nations under water stress. So they're not going to have enough water to really feed their people or like for people to drink. And if you guys don't know, we need water to live. You will fucking die at most 3 days without water. You're fucking dead. You can't substitute water. We are water creatures. We need it. By 2040, the United Nations says there will not be enough water to quench the thirst of most of the world's civilizations or people. So like the World Wildlife Foundation put human beings on the endangered species list. And if you didn't know that, like, humans are fucking endangered. Just because there's, billions of us, doesn't mean like we're on an upscale. Like we've been at like 1150 on the atomic fucking clock that says the doomsday clock. We've been at like 1150, 1158 since the 60s, I think. The doomsday clock was built for the atomic bomb, I think. And like we're fucked, ladies and gentlemen. We are fucked. Like there is so much going on that's going to say the human race is going to go extinct or near extinct if you don't change shit. And this, like, don't, like, be scared, but try and figure out what's going on now so we can prepare and make changes for the future. Because the world isn't going to have water come 2040. We're surrounded by water, so we got these giant moats, right? China knows that, Russia knows that, and all these people that are super smart is what the UN said, or it was something I read on Google. I don't know if it's the UN, but by 2040, America will burn through like 1/3 or 2/3 of its water wells underground of fresh water. If that's true, and let's say like 80-90% of the world land runs out of clean drinking water, then like they're gonna die so fast. There's not gonna be enough water to have those people hydrated and being able to live. Once you get dehydrated, your body shuts down. Your liver, kidneys, brain inflames, headaches, like. So let's say by 2050, right? If most of the world perishes due to not having water, then who's left? But you have to think about it. Like there's governments that understand what's going on. And so like let's just use China because they're our number one enemy, right? They're planning to invade Taiwan, which is a free sovereign nation. Japan's jumping in, Australia's jumping in. President Biden's working with Australia and another company to build Australia nuclear submarines. So like we're helping other first world countries build first world technology of war to supposedly defend themselves from a threat of the communist China. Like it's crazy. So with this happening, so like let's say, because in a theater of war you got propaganda, and of course you have military might, and then you need money, and you need food, you need water, and you need resources, and you also need people to fight. So let's just look at it this like outside the box, right? China convinced John Cena to discredit Taiwan as being a place and to publicly apologize to the people of China for even recognizing Taiwan as a place. People will just say, well, that was just for money. Yeah, well, yeah, that's $100 million, because I think it made like $126 million in China, and then it only made $6 million in America. So that's a lot of money. That's a big commission. Let's say he gets like 20% of the global sales. Like, what's 20% of 129 million? Well, to start, that's $20 million. I only make $60,000 a year. This motherfucker made $20 million on Fast and the Furious 9, right? But that's just saying 20%. Like, I don't know what the exact number is, but he at least made $3 million on that film. I don't even know if that's real, but I'm just saying he at least made 3 mil, right? Just for discussion's sake, because that's a lot of cash. So he was forced to publicly apologize. The Chinese government demanded it. Well, people say, well, that was just for money. Like, that was just for his movies so that he's not boycotted from China. Okay. Well, why would they have one actor who's a big fucking nobody in the big scheme of things do this? And it's like, well, because they don't like Taiwan. Okay, well, why don't they like Taiwan? Because Taiwan doesn't recognize themselves as China. And China recognizes Taiwan as a missing part of their country, and they want to invade and take it back. Okay, well, what's that got to do about John Cena? Well, the Chinese government has been telling their people of China, so the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, which is the government of China, has been telling their people for years and decades that China, that Taiwan is not, it's not a place. It's actually, it's not a place. It's China or some shit like that. And so they want to take Taiwan. By taking Taiwan, they also want to take the Taiwanese chip manufacturing plant that creates the best technology with processor chips. Now, by gaining the technology of the processor chips, they may or may not be able to backdoor any device that has the Taiwanese processor chips in them. If they can backdoor servers, phones, cameras, any technology, satellites, the F-23, what is that? The F-23 Raptor. It's like the world's most advanced fucking fighter jet that's already fucking outdated. Fucking who knows? Anything and everything. And if they get that information, you get rid of the fog of war. And if you get rid of fog of war and you know the movements and the communications of everybody in the world, then you can prevent and preemptively attack before anyone even knows what you're doing. That's the reason why the Nazis lost the wars, because I think it was the British or I think it was the British. There's a person that figured out the code of the Nazi messages, the secret messages that they're passing that no one could decode. He built a computer to help him decode it, and they figured it out. And so they used it strategically to attack on strategic points and to give information only when it was necessary to prevent certain things, to make other attacks more successful and to make other defenses more successful. So com- understanding what's going on in the world when no one else knows what's going on is crucial. And that's what the US government was doing when Edward Snowden blew the whistle on it and said, "Hey guys, America's spying on you." And after that happened, I mean, everything changed. Germany no longer respected our country. Like the chancellor of Germany, and she's fucking cool. She's a badass. She ain't nothing like Hitler. The Nazis were the Nazis. Germany today is not the fucking Nazis. I'd say China today is the fucking Nazis, because everything that I know and see on it is it's just negative. They got the concentration camps set up for the Uyghur Muslims, and it's an absolute police state. The surveillance that they have going on, neighbors spying on each other and tattling on each other, the social credit system. Like, I'll have an F in the social credit system for speaking my mind like this. Like, it's absolute batshit crazy. But, like, not to get too far off topic, if there's not enough water in the future, and governments know this, and very smart people know this, what are they going to do to prevent it from happening? And this is off the top of my head, because, like, I just, like, read this today, and it's a thought that I had, and it really, I think it's a missing piece in the puzzle of everything that's going on. The mask mandates, in my opinion, because they know if you don't have an N95 mask, a viral infection will still ensue. I mean, they know that, and you know that. Just because the big bad fucking television isn't telling you that, like, you know that. That's why when you buy the cloth mask, it says, "This will not prevent you from getting sick." You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's got a message on the side that clearly says, "This will not prevent you from getting sick." Okay, N95 masks stop spray paint particles. It stops metal particles. It stops germs. I mean, like, they know that, okay? And they're not saying that. They're not, because they don't want N95 masks to be bought up. Maybe M3 doesn't have enough supply for the world to all be wearing them. Like, who knows? Who the fuck knows? Is what I do know is the governments are not telling you to wear an N95 mask. They're saying wear a face covering. Why would they do that? To instill, there's so many reasons on why, which I don't know, but just off the top of my head, facial tracking, right? With facial recognition software, facial tracking. You got compliance, who's wearing it, who's not. And then you got seeing what the sides do, because there are going to be people, there is going to be that kid that says, "No, I don't want my green beans. I don't need fruit. I don't need to eat. I just want chips. I just want to eat ice cream." You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people like that. Adults that are like that. So they want to see who that is. Maybe they want to see who's non-compliant, because those are the people that they really want to look into and dig up and see why. It could be multiple things, because where a large majority of people, when they do things, they don't think ahead, right? Most criminals, most citizens, most people in general don't think ahead when it comes to planning. Like, my girlfriend and I, we want to have a baby, right? But she's going to college, and I can't be knocking her up with her going to college for her bachelor's. It just can't happen. So once she gets the bachelor's, and if she decides that she wants to get a master's, we'll figure it out. But I totally want a baby, and she totally wants a baby. But you just can't do it. If you got big plans and big goals, and you're already investing a tremendous amount of time and energy and money into making those goals happen, don't fucking do something that's going to fuck it up. Kids are a big responsibility, and they require a lot of love, and they require a lot of time, and it requires a lot of discipline. Woo, they're fucking expensive, both timely and so much fucking discipline. Oh my God. But as long as you're doing everything correct, the outcome is beautiful. Goddamn, all you motherfucking parents know that. everyone else that's listening to this shit is like, gross, why would you have a kid? They're just so loud and they poop. That's right, bitch. Fuck. So some things that I believe wearing a mask could be to cause conflict and to put people in even bigger bubbles. Most people aren't used to having like crazy conflict. They're not. So like me, I grew up poverty and I never learned how to save money as a younger adult. And I didn't like, I spent it as fast as I got it. And there's like, I constantly was moving around. I was unstable as a young adult. Like I grew up in the prison system. I grew up with shitty parents, a super strange family. Like there's no love. We didn't start saying, I was the first person in the family to tell people that I loved them. And it was to my little brother on the phone when I was like 20 years old. That's like one of the first times he ever heard me say that I love you. And like it was crazy weird. And like looking at it now, like back then it was normal. It was super normal. But looking at it now, it's like, damn, we were fucked up. And so like most people aren't used to hostility and crazy shit. And with me, I always moved around. Like I was constantly moving nonstop. I was constantly losing all my shit and then having to get new shit, losing all my shit, getting new shit. Like choosing just I had great friends and then I also had shitbag friends, but that just comes with life. But like as far as a lot of the folks I met here in Idaho, man, like there's a lot of good fucking people here. And there's a lot of good fucking people everywhere. And that's why I'm like I'm taking the time and I'm using my courage just to speak my mind. Like I'm not just talking to talk. Like usually when I'm talking, it's just to relay a message. And I don't see positive things happening. I don't see things changing for a very long time. I see change, but I don't see things going towards a good change because China is going to war and they're not going to stop until they get what they want. Supposedly America is going to help defend. Australia, I believe Australia is on shutdown because China told that government to shut their fucking people up. So Australia is still on lockdown because China said so. That's my opinion. That's my thought. There is no factual basis on that whatsoever. And I want y'all to understand that. But it's my thought. And when you go back and you read that Australia was defending the nation of Taiwan, the free nation, the free sovereign nation of Taiwan, saying we will defend them. China, you will not. You'll have to get through us if you want to get to them. And China later stated, we will destroy your entire country if you don't shut your mouth. And Australia's on complete fucking lockdown now. So like, I mean, that's just what I see. And when I see bullshit, I see bullshit. And that's just how it is. And if you can persuade me otherwise with different facts and a different discussion, then like I'm all ears to fucking listen. I really am. I'm super open. And my ideas are just my ideas today. And they could be different tomorrow. They totally can. But it's got to be, I want to hear it. And if you can't show me, I would love, I don't know, I lost track on that one. But like so you got China, in my opinion, telling Australia, keep your people locked the fuck down because now they're under punishment. So like with the American doctors firing and the American hospital system firing their nurses and doctors and RNAs that don't want to get the vaccine when they're working through the entire COVID apocalypse without the vaccine. And this vaccine, like there's no long-term studies on what it does to us. We've seen the short-term side effects. We all want to see the long-term side effects. I don't even get the flu shot. I've never gotten a flu shot. I think I got a flu shot when I was like little. But I haven't gotten a flu shot since I was at least like 8 or 9 years old. So why do I need a COVID vaccine shot? I made a post on my Instagram because I was really thinking about this earlier, and I don't have all this hardware set up at the shop yet, so I can't just sit down and do a podcast. And I was working the store by myself today, so I wouldn't have been able to do it even if I wanted to. And so I just posted a video real quick. If you want to go to my Instagram, it's just your average citizen with an underscore at the end of it. There's spaces, and then there's an underscore at the end. And you can hear it from the first hand when I was just like talking, but I'll try and reiterate it again, but it's not going to be the same thing. Cause that was just everything I do is just off the top of my brain. Like I can't do scripts. If I'm reading a script, you'll know I'm reading a script, especially if you listen to me for a while. Like you know my tones and flux, and like it's all different. So my thing is, what if governments are all working together, right? Governments, agencies, like there's a big ass giant handful. There's like 7 billion people on the fucking planet, and let's say 100 million people are selected, right, to have this kind of information. And let's just say, because like we don't fucking know, we're just your average citizens. Like you're just an average person, you're just an average person, and you're just an average fucking person. Like none of us know shit. We're not there. All we can do is speculate. So like what if there's a small handful of people out of the 7 billion people on this planet that are selected to fucking bounce out and redo the planet, fix things? Because if water is this scarce that we have like 30 years, 20 to 30 years of water left on our planet, do you really think big powerful governments are just going to sit back and not do anything to secure the most valuable resource on this fucking planet when it comes to life or death? If you think that, you're naive. China and Russia are working together, and they are going to destroy anyone that opposes them. And that's the scariest fucking thing. And this is what I believe is those two nations, this is what I believe for a long time. If those two nations come together and fight, they will destroy any and every opponent that gets in their fucking way. There's no stopping that. That's the dream team. That's Kobe, LeBron, Shaq, and Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and whatever other good fucking basketball players there are. That's the fucking dream team. They would have decimated everyone. And that's just life. That's how it is. You pick your friends, you pick your enemies. And so like my whole thing is, what if all these different peoples understand that this is a reality that's going to be approaching here within all of our lifetime? So they start working together, and they have to devise a way to make it look like it's like a theatrical theater, like a little play. And they have to make it look like all this different shit's going on. So they have to do confusion, because like when people are like breaching a room or a complex, they throw a flashbang, and that disorients the enemy. So let's say the masks are a flashbang, right? Let's say this COVID lab leak, which like in the very beginning, it actually didn't kill much people. It was like a 1%, maybe less than 1%. But shark attacks, drownings, getting hit by a fucking Mack truck. If you had COVID or possibly had COVID or had COVID in the past or knew someone that had COVID that you were next to, you still died from COVID. So this whole new stat of 1 in 500 people that dies from COVID is absolute fucking dog shit. It's dog shit that they're calling fucking flowers. And because it's inflated data. And I was wondering in the beginning, why would they pay a hospital more money if somebody gets sick from COVID? Like that's just enforcing fraud. And now it's not to enforce fraud. They were using all of this money to encourage the hospitals to say there's more COVID deaths than there actually were. So this can happen now, which is forcing the vaccine to protect the people. the Boise mayor, who I don't like, so I have pleasure blasting this person on the podcast. She put a tweet that says, we encourage you to get the vaccine and to wear masks because we don't want the virus to spread, and it's 100% effective of stopping the spread. She tweeted this. It wasn't the exact words, but it was that's the context that I took it in. And any mask that's less than an N95 mask will not stop the spread of COVID-19. You have to have at least an N95 mask to stop the spread. If you get the vaccine, you can still spread it. There's nothing like the vaccine. There's no evidence. The doctors have evidence and have shared, and the CDC has stated, if you get the vaccine, you can still spread it. You're still contagious. You may or may not have as much symptoms. So like my whole thing is, what if all these governments got together and they have these distractions out there, and they know what's going to happen in the end, and that's going to be a lot of people are going to die, either from no water or from war or from the COVID, right? So that's the agenda. People are going to die. So let's just have them die quicker. So we'll start a war, and this is how it's going to work. We'll communicate with each other what's going on. And because like there's that general that called China and said, and they did whatever they did. And Trump's calling for treason. Other people are saying what he did was an abuse of power, whatever. And so you got all these players that are communicating with each other to save their asses and the people that they need with them's asses, while the rest of us are just here to die. So what if they're all working together, they do a big play of this war, and the people that are actually in charge, and you really got to think outside your box, and like it could be a really good movie. You know what I'm saying? If you watch this movie, you'd be like, damn, that was a good movie. Like, holy shit. Okay. All right, I can dig that. Yeah, that's a good possibility. But hearing it from my mouth all fucking fragmented, and like it was just something I thought about today. Fuck. I bet it's really hard to follow, but just pull out and don't make that baby. God damn. No, but just pull out and do an overhead. So like, let's say you got like 100,000 people that are like the king shit. They're the ones that are in charge. So the invasion of Taiwan is like the flag, the start flag. All right, go. Start your thing. So they invade, bam. And then what if there's a twist? What if, because a lot of Americans are going to bat for China, the CCP. They're like, hey, Taiwan's not a real place. So what if that's like them secretly telling the world that America is actually on China's side? Yeah? And then China is going to double back. Bam! And they're going to invade Moscow when Moscow least expects it. And then America is going to be on their knees for China, just sucking that dick. And China says, ha, you number 2, China number 1. And then America gets to live because we got Elon Musk and we have like a bunch of smart people. Now we got like all this fucking land. You know what I'm saying? And so then we become China's complete bitch. And that's why they're trying to lock us down and tell us to shut the fuck up, is to prepare us for Chinese rule, the CCP rule of you speak out, you go into a rehabilitation camp, and you're going to get fucking neutered. And you're going to, if you don't change and become a good boy, we're just going to put you down. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you'll work in a fucking slave labor camp in North Korea and you'll never be seen or heard from again. Because now China has the reins of the entire fucking planet. Like, that's a scenario that's just right around the fucking corner. and it's all to secure the water. And then once they secure the water, you got the fucking the Mars colony. There's that big ass giant asteroid in space that they're going to be trying to mine that has like in it insane, I think it's like 10, 20 times the amount of water that's on planet Earth. But like, who knows if we can even drink that shit? That's been in space. There could be like space aliens living in that you drink it and then they burst out of your stomach, just and they turn into fucking aliens and the face huggers, and they start slapping on your face, and they fucking plant more seed, and then you're just like, I'd rather fucking die of thirst, god damn it. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck. And who knows? It's gonna be a big shit show here in the next 20 years. Because like, this is the UN saying we're gonna have no water. This ain't Bob Dole or George Bush or fucking Donald Trump. This is the United Nations, bunch of scientists that work for the UN that said, yeah, guys, we're out of water in 2040, most of the world. And people need water. We can't live without it. So to think that foreign governments don't know this, especially the ones that are in the UN, that want to secure their assets and make sure that they're taken care of. That's what people do. And the Chinese government is right now, in my opinion, the most capable government of doing anything the fuck that they want. I believe they're the world's superpower. And that's something to be frightened about, because the way that they lock down their own people, where if you have open conversation or open thoughts like this that are as crazy, less crazy, or more crazy, you go away for a long time. If you access a VPN, you go away for a long time. Some scary shit. If you're reading a book that's banned in China, you're going away for a long time. It's scary. And you got all these nations trying to crack down and take away our choice to do things. That is not freedom. That is tyranny. And it's not right. So you got all these nations that are doing this to their citizens, and it's to prepare for what's going on. They need to put us in kennels to teach us to shut the fuck up, teach us a lesson, so that we can be trained to do it the way that they need us to do it. And I'm telling you right now, the way that the world governments are taking their people and doing what they're doing, when things change in the future, if we keep at the same pace of what we're doing and those people are still in charge, there's going to be worse actions. There's a high chance that we can go to prison in the United States for speaking out, not wearing masks, not getting the vaccine, not having papers, lying about our papers. There's a good probability of that, especially if anything of what I'm saying is on track or true to what could possibly happen here in the next 2 decades. If China really is in charge and everyone else is playing underneath them as their subjects, then they're I forget the word of what it's called. Shoot dang, I forget that. I don't know, just something to think about. Some crazy ass shit. What if they really is working for China behind the scenes, and everyone's just getting paid out by China, and through all them getting all this money for these many years, this is what's led to that. Corrupt politicians all around the planet taking that money has led to the demise of the world. And that, I just want to end it on, in my opinion, that is why the Chinese government was not blamed in the very beginning for the Wuhan lab leak, is because everyone was afraid of going to war. Nobody wanted to go to war. So everyone agreed to talk and figure it out and play it out as long as they could, because no one wants to go to war. That happened before World War II, when the Germans invaded Austria. They didn't shoot a bullet. They just marched in and they said, This is our country. This was originally Germany, and we are taking this back because this is our homeland. And the world didn't do shit. They didn't say shit. They just said, fine, that's fine. We don't want another war, Germany. You just take it, but don't fuck around anymore. And they knew that they could do anything the fuck that they wanted, because they just went in the house and they took an entire country. That's what Russia tried to do with Ukraine. And that is exactly what China is trying to do right now with Taiwan. So that's something to think about. History is doomed to repeat itself if you don't do anything to stop it, especially when you see it happening. Much love, everyone. You guys go and follow the new Instagram, Just Your Average Citizen _. There's underscores in front of every space. Just _ your _ average _ citizen _ you'll see the logo. And thank you guys so much for following and listening. I really appreciate it. And I'm setting up something else. I tried to set up the Patreon page. I had a couple requests for donations and shit. And so I tried setting that up, but didn't save when I stopped my description. So that just really discouraged me. And so I just got on the podcast and now I just gave you guys my episode for the day, your episode for the day, my talking for the day. But I'd love to hear from you guys. If you have any feedback, questions, comments, you just want to chop it up and shit. I video message a lot on the Instagram. I don't really like tippity typing. So it's just easier to communicate, because like you can see my face, my tone, and you can hear my words versus just like taking your own tone and shit with the message. But honestly, I truly do much appreciate you guys following, listening. I really do. Thank you so much. And I hope you guys have a beautiful night, beautiful evening, and a goddamn fucking successful ass motherfucking morning. Woo! I'll see you guys soon. Talk later.